What's good, y'all? Welcome to another story time. I hope you guys have been enjoying them. I'm enjoying getting these stories out there because I feel like it's easier to accept the caca that I be going through when I film these videos, talk about it in therapy. So here is the furry story time. I debated for about a year on if I was going to tell this story, but I was like, I think that this story will really teach a lot of people about adversity, but most notably and most importantly, it will teach parents to understand that just because your child is different doesn't give them a pass to do whatever it is that they want. This story stems from the past story I did about my co-teacher, Miss Leslie, and how she was out here just condoning any and everything, and that's why this situation got to where it got. So we're going to bring it back to that. I'm going to link the story times down below regarding the organization that I'm talking about, because I did do a full-blown story time series on them and how they docked my pay. It was my favorite company to work with when I first started teaching. They paid me very well, and then they docked my pay and thought I wouldn't notice. The only reason I figured it out is because my coworkers were talking about it at a bar, and I was distraught. I was crying. It was very sad. If you've been watching me for a long time, or better yet, if you just seeing me right now, do I give, I cry? Comment down below. Do I give? I'm a crying ass bitch. There's nothing wrong with being a crying ass bitch, but I don't do that. That's how hurt I was, because I literally love this company. It's one of the very few companies I didn't have much horrible things to say about, besides the logistical concerns that I highlighted in that video. But in a general sense, it was one of my favorite places, and it's what inspired me to create my own nonprofit. Which, before we get started, shout out to those of you guys who've been supporting, coming to the classes, and donating. I hope to start my first nonprofit dance season in September. We are raising funds to secure the space. If you would like to support, scan the link on the code or go to the links down below. Thank you so much in advance. So this story took place about a year or two ago, and it's one of the very few times that I've encountered a student that I genuinely could not handle and just, I'm going to be blatantly honest, did not care to, because it was just too much in such a short span of time. I talked about my co-teacher, Miss Leslie, and how she was doing a lot all the time and condoning horrible behaviors that kids were exhibiting, but she also didn't get along with a lot of the kids, and it caused a hostile environment for her and those kids. The kids only listened to me. They only took direction from me because they just stopped respecting her. It's a whole story. I'm going to link it down below if you guys missed that story time. So one of the telltale signs that Leslie was going to be a problem was how she handled the furry situation, right? So there was a student, we're going to name her Furry. Okay, it just makes life a lot easier. Furry was really nice, but she wasn't really outgoing. She was very shy and reserved. But at the same time, she was only shy and reserved when adults weren't around. When me and Miss Leslie, or my supervisor, would come around, she would be all quiet, real cutesy. You would never think that she was doing anything weird, but around her classmates, apparently, according to them, she was a menace. I thought that they were just bullying her and they were treating her crazy because she was weird. So I didn't pay too much mind to it. However, I do regret, and I apologize to those kids. I apologize to the parents, because I regret not taking care of this sooner. If you guys don't know anything about me as a teacher or any position where I work with kids, I don't play that. I don't give a fuck what issues you have. I don't give a hell what your issues at home are. When you're making an environment unsafe or uncomfortable for a majority, I don't fuck with it, and I nip it in the bud extremely quickly. However, in this situation, I really thought that they were bullying this girl, but it turned out to be the complete opposite, right? So, like I said, Furry was real quiet, reserved to herself. A lot of the kids kept telling me and Miss Leslie that she was making them uncomfortable. However, when they kept coming to us reporting this, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, she makes me uncomfortable, I felt unsafe. It was like, oh my God, get Furry to stop. Laughing type shit. So that's why I personally didn't take it seriously. Miss Leslie had a more close-knit relationship with Furry. She would have one-on-ones with her. She would be the one mitigating what was going on with them, because a lot of the issues that were happening were during dance class and in a co-facilitator type of situation. While I'm teaching, she's supposed to be mitigating whatever behaviors. A lot of the times I would see it, but it would be remedied by her taking Furry out of the class. So I wasn't really aware until I had to check in with Miss Leslie on like the end of the second day. And I'm like, yo, what's going on with Furry? And that's when I found out she was a furry. She was like, it seems like a lot of the kids are targeting her. I don't really like that. Like, what are we going to do? She said,
Oh no, it's not really that. It's just that she's a little different.
I said, how is she different?
Oh, well, she's a furry.
And I'm like, a furry? She's like, yeah. I was like the people that dress and act like animals? She was like, yeah, like, I think it's cool. Like, I think that she's different, and that's why a lot of the kids don't like her. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of kids keep coming up to me, and they're going up to our supervisor now, and they're saying, like,
Yeah, I keep talking to her about that, and I keep telling her to stop. But it's just because she's different.
I don't know what to do with this. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to closely monitor the situation. I'm going to see, like, what's going on. The way the shit was relayed to me on her level kind of made me feel uncomfortable. Like, the way she was like,
Oh no, she's just a furry. That's why they don't like her.
I'm like, there's no reason for the kids to not like her just because she's a furry. Yes, I know bullying's a thing, but I feel like back in the day, bullying was 10 times worse than what it is now. Like, these kids call themselves bullies. You ain't seen nothing yet. I've seen people get bullied simply because they were autistic, simply because they were black, white, simply because they were Haitian. Y'all already know I grew up in diaspora wars. I've seen a lot of crazy shit. The bullying now is barely bullying. So I'm like, I don't know if they're bullying her, but something's not right here. I'd be teaching class. This is only like the second or third day. And every single time I'm getting interrupted by,
Stop.
Furry, stop. Oh my God. Coach, I guess Furry.
and I'm just like, yo, relax, sit down, move. I'm getting annoyed. I'm like, what is going on? So now I have to tell my supervisor what's going on because I don't got time for things to be happening. And then they started looking at us like, why didn't we do something about it? So I went to her. I'm like, listen, I have a child that seems to be causing issues. I don't really know exactly what the issues are. You're going to have to probably talk to Miss Leslie about that. But it's extremely distracting. It's not anything I can't handle, but it just seems like something that's going to escalate, right? So she's like, okay, I'll check in with it. I'll see what's going on. By the third or fourth day, I start getting phone calls, messages, and reports during dismissal about Furry. Miss Leslie did not do parent interaction, like, at all. I did all the parent interaction. Even though we were supposed to switch off during arrivals and dismissals, she just didn't like doing it. She didn't like communicating with parents, so that's why I always did it. She didn't start communicating with parents till like the very end when it didn't even fucking matter. So the parents only knew me, and they only knew to bring their complaints to me or my supervisor. My supervisor would also kind of avoid parent interaction. Like, I became like a freaking mascot of the program because I was always down there and conversing with parents, right? So one day, somewhere between the third and the fourth day, I go down there, and one of the parents is like, hey,
I need to talk to you about this child that's been bothering my child.
I said, what child? And she starts explaining to me how her daughter is coming home every day talking about how there's a student basically attacking her and threatening to attack her and some of her other friends in the program. And I was like, explain further. She was like, yeah, like, I don't know what y'all got going on here, but my daughter keeps saying that there's a student named Furry, and she keeps antagonizing the kids, running after them. From my understanding, they some sort of group chat. I'm gonna show you her phone next time because I done took it away. So I'm gonna show you, or maybe I'm gonna send her to school with her phone and she gonna show you what she talking about. And I'm just like, all right. At that point, I go to Miss Leslie after dismissal, and I'm like, yo, there was maybe 2 or 3 parents that came up to me with the same similar situation. And I went to Miss Leslie. I'm like, yo, Miss Leslie, this is what this parent told me. I think we probably got to do something about this. Either we have a class discussion because I don't like the way this is sounding.
Oh no, let me handle it. I'm really cool with Furry. I think that this is just like a bullying situation.
I'm like, but who's bullying who? Because if the parents and the kids are telling us all the time that Furry's doing the most, then I think we should probably talk to Furry. And she's like,
Oh, okay, let's just make it a class thing. Let's not single her out. Because I feel like since she's a furry, that's why people are treating her a certain way.
so that's part of the reason I really wanted to make this video, because I feel like a lot of people give certain people passes simply because they're different. I love the inclusion. I love the thoughtful process of this. However, this is dangerous. This goes across the board, okay? When you have a child that falls into a different class of what is considered the norm, you have to be mindful of how you parent that child, right? This goes for children that are gay, autistic, furries, literally everything under the umbrella that might not be seen as normal and may qualify for a child being singled out or bullied. Because in a lot of occasions, either those kids end up being bullied or they end up being the bullied. Now, here's the thing. Nobody knew that Furry was a furry. Literally, nobody knew. I didn't even know. Okay, the only reason I knew about it was because my co-teacher told me that. She did not come dressed in ears, tails, or anything like that until day 4. Okay, she comes in with her tail, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, so she is a furry. I didn't say anything to her. We end up having a class discussion during dance about sisterhood, inclusion, differences, bullying. And honestly, I thought it was received pretty well. Like, no one crashed out. No one had any comments. No one was making any faces. We had class as usual. Two of my students came up to me at the end of class and they were like, "Coach, we need to show you something." I'm like, "I bet." And they show me a text thread. Like, apparently the entire class decided to make a group chat. I don't know why all my classes do this. Maybe it's a dance thing. Maybe it's a kid thing. Like, when y'all just have group chats with all the kids. Back in my day, we didn't have phones until like maybe, if you were lucky, 5th or 6th grade. I had a phone in 5th grade, but it was my mom's phone and she just let me take it to school and stuff. But now technology's advanced. Parents just let their kids be on their phones without adult supervision with unlimited internet access. I already know how I feel about that. I do not think that kids should have unlimited access to the internet. I think it is dangerous. But that is not the point of this video. These two kids show me the group chat for the class. Mind you, this is like day 4. So I'm like, damn, y'all already got a group chat? And I'm like, what am I looking at here? And it was like,
Coach, read the messages.
I start seeing, "I'm gonna kill y'all. I'm gonna bite y'all. You can't get away from me. Ha ha ha." And one of my students was leading this conversation with the other student. What did I name her? I forgot. I'm going to post it. I don't know if I'm going to post that story time, then I'm going to post this story time. This student was the one that let's spoil a little bit. Basically, I kicked her out of the dance the day before because she was a bully herself. Okay, I kicked her out of the final performances because she sat here and she was bullying girls in her group that were the most quiet, most sweetest, most well-behaved kids, and I was not standing for it. I'm gonna do a story time on her. She came to me with the text messages. I'm reading it through and I'm like, oh my God. Oh, abso-fucking-lutely not. This is unacceptable.
Yeah, we kicked her out the group chat, so it is what it is.
I was like, "Can I take your phone real quick?" She said, "Sure." I take her phone, I bring it to my supervisor. I'm like, "Bruh, I already brought this to your attention. Miss Leslie knows about it. I don't know if she's sitting here making excuses for this kid, but this is unacceptable." She takes the phone, she's reading through it. She said,
Huh. Thank you so much for this, because I actually spoke to her mom this morning and her mother said that she's going to pull her out of the program and she doesn't like what's going on because her child's being bullied by the other kids. So now I'm going to send this to her mother.
she's saying she's being bullied. Like, when I'm telling y'all, I'm one of those adults, especially when I'm teaching kids. I literally watch these kids like a hawk. Okay, yes, there's some things I might miss, especially when I'm the one leading something, but those kids was not bullying her because, like I said, nobody knew she was a furry. All they knew was that she was out here chasing them, hitting them, all this shit. So I'm just like, she's saying that they're bullying her.
She's like, yeah, like she was basically cursing me out this morning. That's why I look a little off, because I'm a little frazzled. She was cursing me out and telling me that I need to stop these kids from bullying her kid. And
I'm like, yeah, that's not what's going on right here. That is not what's going on. She's like, well,
I spoke to Miss Leslie. Miss Leslie seems to think that it was also a bullying situation, but for me and what I've observed, I didn't think that's what it was either.
I say, yeah, nah. Send these text messages to her mama. I want to see what she gonna say. Next day, her mother pulled the child out of the program completely, cussed my supervisor out again, tried to pull up to the program, I guess to have a conversation with me or Miss Leslie. I saw her. And I said exactly what I said prior to her in her face.
Oh, I need to understand why my daughter keeps coming home saying she's bullied.
I said, have you not seen the text messages?
Oh, yeah, I have, but that doesn't.
This is the thing. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but those text messages highlight exactly what's been going on the past couple of days. I completely understand this is your daughter, you're going to defend her, but this whole idea that they are bullying her is completely false. Nobody even spoke to her.
That's the problem. Since she was being isolated, that's why they started targeting her.
No, nobody was speaking to her because she wasn't speaking to anyone. She's quiet.
Oh, yeah, and I think that's why they were bullying her.
No. They were not bullying her from what I observed. And even if that were the case, your daughter is consistently and constantly chasing the kids around. And now we're seeing written threats on their phones. And the students are telling her to stop to the point where they had to take her out of the group chat. So that's why the mom pulled her out. And that's why she was cursing out my supervisor. She was mad and she wanted to talk to me and Miss Leslie. She was like, oh, well, the kids aren't being inclusive. They kicked her out the group chat. They kicked her out the group chat because she was threatening them. What the fuck are you actually talking about? I was like, are you okay? I'm looking at her like, ma'am, if somebody was threatening you on your phone that they do not pay for, I think that you would remove them from your space as well. This is unhealthy. It is not okay. It is dangerous. It is problematic. I would have removed her from the group chat too.
Oh, well, my daughter's not coming back.
I said, I wish you the best. Because what the hell do you want me to say? Like, as soon as I see threats, uncomfortability, bullying, consistent negative behaviors, I'm kind of done with the situation. If I have the power to kick you out, I'm gonna kick you out. If I have the power to report you, I'm gonna report you. In this case, you removed your child, but I need you to understand that what you think ain't that. Okay, so yeah, this one was a shorter story. It was crazy though. It was crazy because while it was happening, every day it was something. Every day is, oh, she bit me, she pushed me, she kicked me, she said she gonna do this, she gonna do that. What do y'all expect me to do in that situation? Like, I don't understand. I feel like she should have been kicked out day one. A lot of these programs in these schools like to sit there and use this reformative practice of just letting these kids do whatever the fuck they want. So a lot of the times they want to give all of these chances. For me, I was over it, and I'm so happy her mom decided to take her out because it was escalating. What's even crazier is that day when the mother came to talk, she decided to pull her kid out because her kid was crying because the kids took her out of the group chat. And it's like, ma'am, did you see the messages? I'm so fucking confused. It's not like the messages were just a one-day occurrence. Like, literally from day 1, 2, 3, and 4, she's literally sitting there threatening them. Like, literally, they could be talking about, I don't know. I think that was the year. So that had to be like a year ago where that K-pop Demon Hunters nonsense came out on Netflix. I think it's nonsense. I don't really like it. Another story for another time, right? They were talking about anime. They were talking about SpongeBob. They were talking about all different types of stuff. And she would interrupt like, ha, 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 I'm going to kill you guys tomorrow. Listen, boo-hoo, whoop-de-do, you can keep crying. You can get out this group chat. I'm not about to sit here and argue with you about your daughter possibly being dangerous. This is insanity at this point. Let me know down below, what would you do in this situation? Do you guys think that she was indeed being bullied and maybe I missed it and Miss Leslie was right? Honestly, it is what it is. She's not in the program. She didn't even last. Her mother thought that we was the ones, we had something against her. The mother kept sending emails, messages, and cussing everybody out as if niggas was antagonizing her child when her child was the one threatening people. So personally, I feel like if there was any bullying, it is more than likely in response to bullying that the child was doing. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. If you made it to this part of the video, comment down below an animal. Like a furry animal. So cat, dog, cow, whatever. Like, I want to see it down below. Also, for those of you guys who would like to help, one of my friends is going through a really hard time. She lost her mother and her 9-year-old niece in a fatal house fire. I was there on the scene, so I'm kind of distraught myself. They are collecting money to help the family rebuild. If this is something you are interested in supporting, the QR code is right here on the screen. I'm going to link it down below if you don't find it in the links on the QR code. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye!